let's get started with you. What do you need help with?
I am not too sure what to do to progress right now in terms of what should I cube, if I should prioritize star forcing instead, maybe familiars, maybe I should level more, focus on Legion. I'm not too sure where to progress in that sense. Let me see if there's something else. Maybe nodes if there's an issue with them.
So this is a general like allocation of time, like where to spend your time.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not too sure which direction I should go right now. I sort of know how I can get stronger, but in the same way, I don't know exactly what can I do at this exact time.
Yep. Okay. So and what is the main goal? It's just general progression, or do you have a specific goal in mind for the 0?
I think general progression, because I don't have a main goal for my 0. I just want to level him up.
Okay. And where are you at right now? Like, what can you already do?
Right now, I'm in hard lucid and hard will practice with Corey and some other guys from your stream. In terms of solo progression, I can do anything below normal Lomian, I think. I might be able to do elucid. I haven't attempted because hard lucid takes priority.
Oh, and for Lotus and Damien, have you tried solo?
Yeah, I can already solo. I take about 3 to 4 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So that's like the hardest you can do. Well, what is after that? I guess after that would be easy lucid, yeah, which is mechanics check and takes forever probably. Yeah. So not really worth doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not mechanics check, more like a kit check. Okay. And how's the hard lucid and hard will going at this point? Are you guys close to clearing or?
Hard lucid we've been clearing, I think, 3 or 4 times already this month. Like the last 4 times we've been doing.
Nice.
Yeah, and we started doing hard Lomian for the event.
Right.
Hard will, we're still kind of lacking in mechanics probably, because we do manage to get to phase 3, but then phase 3 just fucks us over.
How many lives does the party usually have left when you get to 3?
From what I can recall, about half of us get there with above 6. The other half with above 8.
Okay. Yep. And are most of the deaths in phase 2 because of the lack of healing?
Most likely because we just because we have so many binds, so we just keep stalling him so he doesn't have a chance to attack us.
Yeah. But then once he can attack, you're like panicking around.
Well, we don't really panic. At least I know I don't. I don't think anybody else that does either.
Okay.
But it's probably just a lot of chip damage and eventually lack of healing.
Yeah. And everyone is running like one healing familiar? Because you can run multiple, right? Healing familiars do stack. Specifically for support, sometimes the advice is for these bosses, if it's like problematic to survive, that sometimes it's a good idea to run like multiple healing familiars to make sure that you can promote the survivability of the entire team.
Yeah, the main issue I think we have regarding familiars is only our highest level players have them, and our lower level ones don't have them yet.
I see.
So we end up sacrificing high DPS for healing, while the low DPS can't actually get healing themselves.
Right, yeah, but they have to do all the damage because they're the highest levels. Yeah. You got knocked into webs a lot, said Corey. Yeah, that's a positioning thing, right? As long as you are like in the middle of the map, whether you get pushed from the left to the right or the right to the left, if you're in the middle of the map, you can never get knocked all the way until the webs. And if you do, it's because you jump and then you get knocked through the web, so you don't get hit by them. So that's like a positioning thing, Corey. If that happens too much. But your survivability is probably pretty good with the 0, right? With the switch and the shield and the iframe and the reset and the...
Yeah, I think last time we ran hardware, I got to phase 3 with 10 lives.
Okay.
And a revive.
So that's no problem. It's more like the trying to get the whole team across the finish line. How much time do you guys have left when you get to phase 3? Do you know?
I want to say around 14 minutes, maybe 12.
Okay. Yeah, that should be enough then, yeah. Because I remember from my early runs a long time ago that even sometimes with like 8 minutes it was doable, but if you went under that basically made it impossible. So it's all, yeah, so if you have 12 or 14, that should definitely be doable. Okay, yeah, but survivability for you is not an issue, but yeah, maybe for your team, tips for the team or something would be something like make sure you always cleanse whenever you can, not just when there are webs, so that the corner is clear. If you get pushed into the corner, that you don't get sealed, and then on the return, save your iframes if you're unfamiliar with the move stay. If the mages have trouble, teleport down from the top platform for the longest invincibility on that. There's a little bit of things everyone can do, I guess. But yeah, the healing familiars will be important. And you talked about familiars, right? So what are you doing on in terms of familiars right now? And how can we help you with that?
My familiars are quite awful. I only have a total of 45% IED of familiars. And for party healing, I only have a small amount, and for myself, a medium amount.
Okay. And the IED, because that's a lot of IED. You have 50% IED on the boss as debuff, right?
Yeah, I give 50% plus 20% off course of, You
mean boost notes or?
5 job skills.
Yeah, you mean the boost nodes, right? Or that's the 20% you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to deal with those different forms, right? 0 is always fun with like the different crit rate and the different the different IED.
Well, yeah, the crit rate I've already solved that problem. So it's not that much of an issue anymore.
Okay, good.
IED isn't really an issue because beta still reaches the needed amount by the end of the debuffs.
Okay. Yeah, and you know all about like IED and the functional and like calculating all of that. Okay, good. So you don't have to go too deep into all of that. Yeah, so that's with current familiars. And if you so what is IED, like what are sources of IED that are on the way that you don't have yet that would allow you to kind of go out of IED on your familiars?
Most likely Blaster Legion, further helping my Legion grid improve, and Monster Park Medal is about to be finished.
Okay, that's definitely some good stuff. And you have the Superior set complete?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I guess the other thing would be like familiars with bigger chunks, right?
Yeah, because right now only one of them is a common familiar with 2 lines of 15%, and then I have another 2 with 15%, but I'm dropping them for healing familiars.
Right. So for bossing, you typically have 2 15% lines, and that's it.
Well, for hard will, yeah. For everything else, I just have 60% of familiars.
60. Oh wait, you have 3 slots available already?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Most people don't even have that at your level, so you're already, I think, ahead compared to most people. Man, the Matrix looks different with all these locks. I'm not used to it looking like this.
Looks pretty, right?
Yeah. There's something about the silver, the blue, the light blue with the silver somehow works together very well.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Something about it. Yeah. So familiar-wise, I guess the main thing is going to be, because are you training in Moonbridge now or planning to?
I'm planning to. I did try finding a map to do a totem there, but it was completely full. But I did have some time to test how do you actually clear there as a zero, and it wasn't exactly full clear, so I wasn't sure if I'm doing that.
Yeah, from what I heard, sometimes zeros stay on in Celas, I think, right? Because Celas also has some really good maps for zero.
Dallas and L Cup until 255.
Yeah, because L Cup is so brain dead. And you can still get really good rates, right, in L Cup?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what my rates are, but usually I get at worst 40% per totem, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Probably 40%, because it was 30% before the EXP change.
Right. Yeah, maybe it was with like triple coupons or something from compensation.
No, that was without coupons.
Okay.
It was just normal 2x.
Normal 2x, okay. Yeah, it's possible that moving into... Yeah, but then you don't get familiars, right? So it's possible that it's better to take a little bit of a hit in your rates for now, but then get the familiars so you can go hard there. I mean, you do have the one with 2 lines of 15%. Like, that's already a very solid one, but... yeah, because I'm thinking... The ones that you have with 15% don't have like a second useful line as well, or do they? Do they have like they have the healing on that, or is that a different familiar?
No, it's a different familiar because they're all common. So the double 15% lines just add up to 30 on one familiar.
Yep. Yeah, because I'm thinking like the calculation. Is it if you get rid of one familiar completely, and you get the other sources, you'd still be fine, right? The 10% from the badge and the little bit from the blaster. But could you get rid of both of them? The ones
right now I'm only using the 30% ED familiar, the 2 to 15% one.
Yeah, and if you have that one, how much do you have functionally?
I don't know at the top of my head. I can check for you though.
But it's like low 90s. Because which one is lower? Is it beta is lower? Yeah.
Yeah, beta is lower.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. But I guess the higher you go, the closer those numbers get anyway.
Yeah, and I also put into account weapon aura.
Is that one leveled up quite nicely? Because the uptime for that gets quite good at higher levels.
Right now it's level 14.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure one of my biggest issues is my nodes themselves, because some of my skill nodes are higher level compared to the other ones, while my boost nodes are mostly finished.
Yeah, I see that. And which ones? The blessing. Do you not use any do you not use sharp eyes? Yeah. You have done your glove?
I have sharp eyes and gloves, yeah, so I just keep it there so my pet auto buffs it.
Yep, okay. Yeah, I was missing some color. I was like, there's a color I'm missing. Oh yeah, green. But yeah, if you have that on your glove, then that's fine. Does it have like critical damage and sharp eyes, or?
No, only sharp eyes. Sharp eyes and 20% stat. Oh,
I see. Okay. I guess that's fine to keep now until you have an extra slot. But because critical damage is really big for your damage, so you do want to roll into that eventually for sure. Like if you roll critical damage and decent sharp eyes or something, then that's also fine to keep. I think that's what I got on my hero, like a line of stat, line of crit damage, and line of sharp eyes. It's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna roll over that for 2-line crit damage. That's good enough for a long time. Unless you're maining and you want to get very, very far, then eventually you go.
I am planning to go very far, but everything in due time.
Yeah, it's an expensive upgrade. So does your goddess blessing do like the table flip pose?
What do you mean the goddess flip? The table flip?
In the Matrix, is it Rin's blessing? It looks like she.
Transcendent prayer. It's cooldown reset and gives me flat attack, then it gives me like a final attack-esque effect. Plus, it keeps my alpha and beta double time buffs permanently up while the buff is active.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if this is a... Oh, you can't do this. Okay. Wait, did you say there was a chance to reset?
The Resent Drain Sprayer, yeah.
Yeah.
But it resets your cooldowns as well as time holding from
right, yeah.
skills.
Oh yeah, it's a fixed reset. Yeah, it's the Nova one that has like a chance to reset stuff. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay, just to get the skills back in my brain, the top left one is like the.
It's the one where Alpha and Beta do like a small dance, and then they make a pillar of light that does a lot of damage.
And then the whole map just kind of like.
Yeah.
Blows up, and then the second one is the big bind and the AoE on the map, and everything just takes a little bit of damage, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one.
The third one is Ego Weapon, where whenever Alpha or Beta attack, they have like an added skill, no matter where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have both the temples, the one below Chrono Break and Ego Weapon.
The install, right?
Or you just teleport to them.
Yeah, and then you tap it again, and then you teleport, and then boom, explode around it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So are you wondering like the order in which to level the skill nodes?
As far as I know, the only skills that I like, of course, when I say as far as I know, I mean in a sense of what I think is right. I don't know what actually is right.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I know, Twin Blades, which is the top left one, is one of my biggest burst abilities. Chrono Break, which is the one next to it, is a huge steroid, and Ego Weapon is just for general DPS. The other two, I'm not too sure how important they are for actual damage increase.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess most skills, basically what happens between like level 1 and level 30 is that like the base damage number of the skill like a little bit more than doubles. That's typically what happens. But if any skill gives you more utility or has something with a duration or an uptime that changes, then that's typically a priority to level up. Yeah, it looks like Chrono Break gets longer duration effect, I see, when you level it. So that's probably why people would mention it, or why you are doing it the most, right? It gives more final damage and gives more duration.
More CDR.
Yeah. So that one's...
The question is if the prayer is actually that big of a steroid that I should prioritize it right now. Because Twin Blades is very big for a burst. Mm-hmm. And the temples don't really get any change except actual damage. So they're probably a low priority because it's strictly a damage boost.
Mm-hmm.
While Prayer also gets increased duration and damage as final attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that sounds right. What was the other one called? The third one?
The Ego Weapon?
Ego Weapon, yeah. Because I think that keeps 182 to 4. If only the cooldown went down a little bit or something. That'd be nice.
The cooldown goes down with hat potential. So best in slot for 0 is -5 seconds, but you lose so much range for it. So I have the hat I have right now.
Mm-hmm.
So really don't need to change it until I get more damage, I guess.
Yeah, and is that more of a bossing thing or generally more a mobbing thing as a clear thing? Probably more for bossing, right?
Yeah, more bossing, but technically both. Because Zero's mobbing is already very high.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I assume. Okay. And the and for mobbing it would also depend on what shape the map is to know if it even would make a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you already have 30 on the hat, so yeah, that would be on a different hat, I guess.
Yeah.
You have another lucky hat to work on?
I think I have 4. 3. I have 3 Civ Help.
And your yeah, and the main thing is your weapon, right? Your weapon is all weird and stuff.
Yeah.
So this one is 22'd and is part of. Yeah, okay. So CRA set, but Abzo stats. So you're already where you want to be. The only upgrade is like to get the essence as a drop, right? From hopefully as a drop, or otherwise make it from the Lucidor Will shop and then upgrade it.
That's another question I wanted to ask later, but in terms of my weapon, the only upgrades I have left is re-upgraded it to Arcane. And for the flames, I need to get higher flame tiers, and I need damage and all stat, because those actually get doubled. And of course, I need a better soul weapon, because Mag event was very bad towards me.
Rip. Yeah.
I love getting 6-1 off.
You're saying the percentage all stat gets and percentage damage get doubled?
Percentage boss damage, percentage damage, and percentage all stat get doubled from your weapon.
Okay. Why doubled? Because when you're wearing one of them, the other one gets worn as a secondary weapon, and those stats apparently count on your secondary weapon, so it basically applies twice. I mean, attack also doubles, right?
What, the attack stat? No.
But, well,
100%
you're holding the other one as your secondary, right? Don't you get stats from that?
I might, but as far as I know, those don't get doubled. Like, I won't get double the 56 attack from the flame itself.
Well, what tier is this then? Is this tier 4?
That's tier 5.
It's a 5? Jeez, that's depressing.
Yeah.
I thought tier 5. I thought the tiers for non-advantage would be high. Yeah, that's like a min-maxy thing that I don't know much about then, because I aimed for. I think I aimed for 5 as well, and then be like, okay, I'm done. And you have some strength on top of that. Did you have any idea like how expensive that's gonna be? Like how many flames it's gonna be? Because that's quite a lot, right?
I think this flame is around 1 point. No, not 1 point. It's like probably 700 mil to get.
There's no way this is right.
Yeah, it's really hard finding proper flame calculators for a 0.
Wait, is this right? Average of 10 flames to get a tier 5? I feel like I had to use like hundreds.
Yeah, I had to use above 300.
There's no way this is right. There's no difference in flame advantage. It's the same number. Oh, this isn't right. I should contact him. Where's Suckhard? Somebody summon Suckhard.
It's most likely just the specific equip type that's not really in the calculator, because it's very hard finding something accurate about the 0 weapon.
Well, I mean, it's giving the same outcome whether it's flame advantage is sticked or not, so it's not.
I do know the 0 weapon isn't flame advantaged.
Yeah, it isn't. No.
So opposed to everything else. So, you know, something else to push me back.
Yep. No, for sure. Well, and the main problem is that you want multiple of these. It's going to be exponentially more because of how many, you know, because there's going to be so many flames that just give you 1 or 2 lines, and then those have to be exactly the stats you want as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I was surprised that you mentioned that. Like, it's cool to know that that's a possibility, but that seems like a very endgamey thing to want to go towards. Because even to just get back to tier 5 attack, even just that. Well, right now it's not a huge number, but I think when it's an arcane weapon that represents almost 100 weapon attack, I think, right?
Yeah, I think around 96.
Yeah, 90-ish, yeah. Flame Advantage only changes boss damage? No, Flame Advantage changes the chance of getting 1, 2, 3, or 4 lines. So even if, and also the lower end and the upper end of the potential outcome for the flame. So if you switch between the Flame Advantage or Flame Disadvantage on a weapon, the amount of flames that you're expected to use should change by quite a lot. But nobody really looks up, nobody really flames items without Flame Advantage, except zeros. What up, Jenny? How you doing? Yeah, so yeah, that's tricky to calculate.
The next issue I have with my weapon is that on the 30th, wow, that's hard to pronounce. When the Meso shop opens, I'm gonna have enough droplets to actually buy the Arcane Essence.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, should I actually go ahead and buy it and just say, if let's say a weapon essence drops from Hardose or Hardwill, it's just gonna be a dead drop. So should I actually go ahead and get it for the free 20% IED and just and of course all the stat upgrades, but risk getting a dead drop?
Yeah, rip getting a dead drop. The thing is, of course, that for you, if you need the extra damage to be able to train in Moonbridge better, if this allows you to go into Moonbridge and go harder there and start getting your familiars and go crazy with that, that seems that's probably the move and the way to go. For other characters, of course, it's always like, oh, if you get a drop, you just use it as a backup and you can go beyond 17. But for you, that value isn't there.
Yeah, because it's already 22.
Yeah, and the other thing is that you're mainly a support, at least for now, right, in the boss fight. So the damage that you do isn't super important. So I would see it purely as individual for you. If you feel like you need this to progress faster and to be able to train in the higher level areas, then I would do it. If you have patience. Or just say, like, I'm going to wait X amount of weeks. Like, I'm going to wait, I don't know, like 10 weeks or something, or 6 weeks, however much you're comfortable with waiting. If I don't get it by then, you buy it. And if you do get it by then, you know, use the points on something else. I think it's like with gambling, like you set aside a number and then you go by the number, I guess.
Most likely I'm just gonna buy it the second I can, because I feel like I'm being kind of a detriment to my party right now because I don't deal enough damage or I don't provide healing. So I'd rather go ahead and push forward so I can help them more.
Right, with a lower level you have more damage reduction, and then if you can train faster, you gain damage there, and you gain more familiars that you can use to support the party more as well. Yeah, I think that's solid, and if you feel like you don't want to wait for that, yeah, it'll just be a dead drop and that'll suck, but just hope you get something else, I guess. But chances are you'll just get nothing instead. So
yeah,
because
I'll just collect the drugs.
Hard bosses. Yeah. No, I think it's fine to get it. Yeah, you very rarely find people who regret getting it, because even if they get the drop very close after, it's like, yeah, it was such a huge damage increase. It made everything so much easier that it was worth it. So I would get it. I think that's fine. Lucky the weapon. Oh, the weapon. Oh, the weapon is like orange colored, like it's a lucky item as well. Oh, that's weird. Didn't notice that.
So, another probably big issue is right now I don't have any drop or meso gear whatsoever.
Wow, you got to 245 without that?
Yeah, I've just been getting lucky off Maple Tour. So should I prioritize making drop gear above actually getting all my gear upgraded, or should I do that instead?
Probably the drop gear, yeah. You're planning on going hard with this character and spending all your time on this character, right?
Yeah. Aim for the moon, even if you miss.
Yeah, then I would work on drop gear for sure. Do you have things that could function as drop gear?
Yeah, I have 3 event rings and C-pop mark. Not C-pop, Chaos Pink Beam.
The Pink Beam, yeah. Okay. The thing is with yeah, you could use that. The thing is, are you currently using the tattoo and a monocle? Oh no, you're using the. Oh, the monocle is anvil. Yeah. Okay. You rused me. Thing with that. So yeah, if you want to use, so the difference between like the using the pet mark and the sorry, not the pet mark, the big P mark and the monocle is, of course, is that the monocle could go over 20 and the other one only, quote unquote, goes up to 20. And of course, the amount of backups you can get and transferring capabilities, right? If you're planning on going that high, there is a good argument to be made by just going for 2 tattoos and 2 monocles and then just do that, because then if you roll the stats you want in potential on one of them, you can just switch their functionality and then re-roll the other one. Right? Like if you, I don't know, if you go for a legendary on a tattoo and the other one rolls 30% strength, well then you just upgrade this one for drop, right?
Yeah.
And for monocle and tattoo, kind of the same thing, but they're pretty interchangeable very far down the line and until you are planning to go past 20, but up until there, they're pretty interchangeable in the same way. So whichever one you decide to use, I think is fine for now. For super far down the line, you could opt for an extra monocle by then, but that will hopefully happen organically when you get a pat mark, right?
Yeah.
And then that'll be your like second monocle thing, yeah. But yeah, I think that's a good investment to work on that, because that's over time that's gonna make you a lot of money back. But if you already said like you were having trouble killing now in Moonbridge, that definitely means that if you're gonna switch into drop rate gear, you're gonna lose probably a decent chunk of your damage.
Yeah.
So that will mean that the kill speed is gonna take a hit as well. What's your arcane power at? Oh, that's pretty high. Is that enough to get bonus in Celis?
What about Celis? Sorry?
Is that enough to get bonus damage in all of Celis?
Yeah, it's enough for Moonbridge as well.
Oh, it's enough for Moonbridge already, okay. Yeah, do you know I've never trained in Moonbridge? I just skipped that whole thing.
Moonbridge is honestly awful. It feels horrible grinding there.
I mean, people love the VC3 and LH6 maps and stuff. Apparently the rates there are crazy. Some people make like $1 bill an hour there.
It's probably just the zero habit of just spamming tornadoes and keeping your brain off. So I just don't like VC3. But yeah, I'm supposed to train there.
Oh, you too? Yeah. I thought maybe there was like a specific map for you that, or some other maps, some more possibilities rather than everyone having to be in the same map.
I wish, yeah.
Where is... Oh yeah, these are 700. Oh yeah. And the last ones are 730. Oh yeah, nice. And that's enough for hard will bonus damage as well. That's with the current event buff, right?
The current event buff is giving me 30.
Yeah.
So I think I have enough without it. Because I did upgrade my symbols twice compared to what I have in the picture.
Okay, nice. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking the current event rings you have, which ones are those?
Vengeful, Master SS, and Awake.
Okay. Oh yeah, the Awake I saw, right? The Awake you're currently using?
Yeah. I'm currently using, but I also have Reinforced Golex. I'm waiting to upgrade.
And are the other rings already potential as well? Like they already have like unique or legendary, or do you still have to start from scratch?
The Vengeful is already at legendary with 20% drop, but that's it. And everything else is unique or above.
Right.
Well, unique.
So it's time for that bump to get them all to unique, which is always fun to do.
That's fine. What? 5 cubes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but since you probably already have like a baseline and a decent amount of money that you can make, it'd probably be best to immediately go for, you know, like the 5 meso, 4 drop, and then try to make sure you have a line of strength on all of them to not hurt too much in your switch. The how do you feel about your flames on everything? Because maybe some of those can cushion the blow a bit. Let's see, that's pretty good. It's not bad. This one is transferring. 68 and 5. Yeah, 3. Sadly, not too many, like 2.5 lined items, but you have a few.
Yeah.
But that's usually what picks up some of the slack. But you have some uniques because they got such good unique rolls. That's all good. That's good value to treat them that way. And you're planning on just finishing some stuff up to 17 this weekend?
Yeah, everything that's around 15, I'm gonna get it to 17 for sure. And the tattoo and monocle, I'm still not sure if I want to get them to 17. I mean, it's definitely a good investment considering how rare the higher tier items are for them. But in a sense, it's the same conundrum I had with the Arcane Essence, because I didn't know how to feel if I should actually invest in it or just wait for the lucky drop.
For the tattoo and a monocle, what do you mean by wait for the drop? You mean like from Hard Lotus and Hard Damien, or?
Well, for the tattoo, it's definitely Hard Damien, so it's definitely a candidate for upgrades. But the monocle, you can also get the Apotos mark. So that's something I'm waiting for.
Right. Yeah, I think getting up to 17 is fine. I would definitely just do that. But like going past 17, that would be something that you would have to decide later. And if you're trying to go past 17, I would say there's a lot of other items that are easier, higher priorities. Probably, hopefully by then, maybe like on a treasure rings or something, if you get a bunch of backups from Princess No, or the CRA gear, of course, at that point. And then, by the time that gets to 20 or something, then you can decide. If you still don't have a drop by then that'll just decide for you, basically. But if you do have a drop, then that also decides for you. So you give yourself some more time to make that decision, to basically let the RNG of the game make that decision for you. But going up to 17, I would say, is worth it. I would probably put it at the lowest priority of the stuff that you want to upgrade, though. Like, get all the other stuff to 17 first, and then with the money that's left. Because I don't know what your income looks like, but I assume you can afford all of those things, right?
Right now, I'm sitting on around 5 bill. Because usually I told them about 3 to 4 times a month. But I also make 1.1 bill of Maple Tour because I just sell stuff in other worlds.
But you do 3 or 4 totems per month?
Yeah.
Okay, so only on weekends you have time to do like a whole session.
Sure, let's go with that.
Wait, what do you mean?
I feel bad about the MVPs expiring, so I do them. Outside of that, I never do totems.
But like, you don't train at all then?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I thought people wanted to play Zero because you could train so easily, so much for so long.
Yeah, but you just turn your brain off for 2 hours and you feel yourself deteriorating.
Become like a brain in a vat. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some mentally stimulating podcasts or something that you can listen to at the same time. I don't know.
Maybe turn on somebody's live stream.
Yeah, but they would have to occupy your brain. I don't know if I don't know which live stream does that. Most of them are just memeing. But yeah, I mean, I've been there for a while, like not training at all. But it does. But I noticed that you do feel some pressure for like helping the team, right?
Yeah.
So, planning it every now and then. But like, if you don't have the free time, that's one thing. But if you don't have the desire at all to do it. That's like a more fundamental problem with with how the game works, right? Like the game does expect you to put that time in to get to places, so
to just burn hours upon hours to get +1 level.
Yep. Well, I mean, you said you get 40% per totem?
Something like that, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna dream of those kind of rates once you get to the higher levels.
Can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to wait a little bit because you're not training, but yeah, if you can, if you get it like into 250s, it cuts in half. 260s, it cuts in half again. You know.
Yeah, you got me there. By the end of the month, I'm definitely gonna get to at least 248, so I can just buy 2 potions and get to 250 off them.
Right.
But for now, it's just a slow climb.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's only gonna get slower. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just a Maple thing. You know, maybe you don't feel like training that much right now. Maybe you'll get a new boost of energy with some stuff later. You know, or maybe you'll feel like racing someone because you both don't feel very motivated. So it's like maybe if we race it, we can build our motivation a little bit. Whatever works, I guess.
Probably the biggest motivator for me right now is just helping the party.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, that could be, sometimes that's what you want, what you need, you know? That was for me also, like doing, I like a personal life, like doing sports and stuff by myself is super fucking boring. I would never go out and do anything. That's why I played a team sport, so that, you know, you show up at the time and then you do things together and you do it for the team and to make sure you don't let the team down, right? And like, that's what worked for me. Yeah. Otherwise, I would just never do anything. Now it's like torture, like dragging myself out of the house to go run or like do the push-ups all the time. Every single time it's like a battle. But you know, find out what makes you tick.
Probably just expiring MVPs.
Yeah, that would, like expiring totems and MVPs. Like, I should use these. Yeah, even then you let the game decide, but you know, maybe let the game decide every now and then, I guess. How's things going with Legion?
Mostly what I do for Legion is just whenever I finish all my dailies rather early in the day and I have enough motivation, I just go ahead and start a new Legion character, get it to at least level 97, and from there, if I still feel motivated, I keep grinding on them. If I don't, I just do daily Zakam on them until 140. Possibly 141, so they're gonna be eligible for Typhoon potions and bonk events.
Yeah. Yeah, that one extra level is like, it's like, oh, big event in it. Oh, no character is eligible. I have to go level all of them. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. That's the dream.
And of course, when you have Terror Burn and stuff like that, I try and go ahead and push for the maximum value. Like Terror Burn, I'm getting in around 210. So both I get the Link skill and I get all the nodes that I'm gonna break down and transfer over to the 0.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So you have access to a lot of the Link skills already, right?
Yeah, but I know one of the core Link skills I'm missing are Explorer Mages, Mihail Link, because Alpha is actually a beta.
No 100% knockback?
0 knockback.
0 knockback? Wait, one has 0 and the other one is 100?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. I mean, it's better than having 50-50. That would be even worse. Because then both of them just get knocked around all the time. And that's really like a big downside, that the other one always gets knocked around.
Yeah, but it also, like you said in an earlier stream, that knockback is very subjective, because for some cases you might feel like you're missing it, but for the other cases you don't. So
And you miss it.
in my case, I only miss it during Lucid because golems just ping pong you from left to right.
Yep. Bing,
But every
bing,
other time, I
bong.
can just switch over to beta and have knockback resist.
Right. Yeah, for like for CPAP or something, it's not too bad for that.
No, for CPAP, I just keep him bound until he's dead.
Okay, yeah, that's usually a pretty good plan. Yeah, I would advise all the people at home to do that as well. Just bind forehead.
Not from zeros. Reach 1 minute of binds.
Yeah, if you get like if you get perfect reset rolls.
You start with a beta, then you use Chrono Break, Shadow Rain, 10 Yorozu, repeat twice Shadow Rain and Yorozu, and then you use beta stun again.
Right, and then is that without the was it critical bind?
No, the beta stun is critical bind.
Oh, the beta. Okay, yeah, okay, that's the one. Who are you calling a beta? Beta Mel. What link is that? Is it Zero's link? Rin's Blessing is Zero's link skill, yeah. Reduced incoming damage, which only counts for non-percentage damage, which is Sag. And then 10% defense ignore.
ID.
If only it was like 5% damage reduction, maybe on a cooldown, but also counts for percentage attacks. Now it would be useful. But...
Well, it could be useful, but Zero probably doesn't need it because of how survivable they are.
Mm-hmm.
But
well,
mostly I'm
like linking it to other characters, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it could be useful for that.
Wait, you have the IGN Uller?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a lot of good IGNs.
Oh, you do? Oh, wait, let me see. Used 269. Okay, that's a pretty good one. F15SG.
Oh, who
yes,
is it?
I'm funny. Okay. Crazy cat lady. These are
Some of the
some
other good ones aren't level 60 yet.
little wee wee. Hey, this is some bigger wee wee. Oh, nice.
The 1-2 punch.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you're still wondering about? What next can we help you with? Emblem.
We went over quits.
Yeah.
Drop gear we went over. Familiars we went over. Nodes we went over. Is there anything else? Like there's the arcane gear, which mostly is just buying the weapons so I can farm in Moonbridge and then at whatever pace I get them.
Yeah, it'll just be one at a time. 17 replace, right? Because the Abzo, we're not going too hard on that, so you can move out.
Yeah. At what point should I prioritize upgrading my reinforced Galax to swap out the Awake Ring? It's not in the pictures, but it's a 12-star unique.
Yeah, well, that's when you're pushing past 17, and you've already pushed past 17 first on the items with lower risk. So that would be that basically be when your CRA is already like 19, I guess. And that's when you want to probably start pushing the rings. I would say it depends on backups for Meister and for Kana Treasure first, and to see how far you go with those, because it's very expensive to buy backups for Superior, right?
Yeah. No, not the Superior.
Oh, sorry, yeah, for Reinforced. It's still pretty expensive, but I think the main thing would be like you want to push up the CRA stuff, and then for the other pieces, I think it's going to be a matter of specifically for the Superior Galax pieces is to find the level 140 pieces to high Star Force and then transfer hammer them over, depending on how high you want to aim for that. So either like 21 to 20 or 22 to 21 was probably going to be like that's like the next huge step after that. But that's like after
And
you
I
get the
could,
arcane gear, probably.
yeah. Should I actually aim for that after making drop gear and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'll go for drop first because even just getting the getting the 17-star arcane and upgrading that properly is very, very expensive on high level equips. Like safeguarding it up to 17 is like several billion per item. You're gonna make that money back just by making a set of drop and meso gear.
So highest priority is drop gear, and then everything that comes with it, like upgrading the nodes, upgrading the gear itself off bosses.
Yeah, I would say enough money to do the stuff you want to do this Sunday, right? Should keep roughly that aside, and then work on the drop and meso set first. Yeah. What do you have like in terms of the other equips like pendants and earrings?
In what sense?
To make drop set.
Oh, I have a spare Dawn pendant, and I have the Greed pendant. For rings, I already said I have the Vengeful, I have the SS, I have the Awake that I could sometime in the future change it. I have Noble Ifia. I got a Black Bean Mark. For earrings, I think I don't have any alternatives.
Did you used to use the Horntail or Hilla earrings?
No,
Maybe with a nice
skipped
flame?
over them.
Okay, so we didn't use any earring until Superior?
Exactly, I got a lucky draw.
I see. Okay. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a reinforced earring or something if you have that?
I guess I could opt to buy them.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I would probably go for Horntail or Hilla earrings instead.
Yeah, those are fine, because those can also go to 17 if you want, you know, if you do need the damage across the board.
Yeah,
and they can get good flames as well and work into the set bonus with the boss accessory, so it's not too bad. The one thing there though, oh yeah, so the one thing I was saying, like with the 140s into the 150s, right, to transfer for Superior later on, that does mean that it's a good idea to start thinking about which items those are and to start thinking of those backups. So that would be reinforced earrings, Dominator, pendants, and you know, the pink bean belts most likely, right? And then for the rings would either be Meisters or kind of treasure, depending on, like I said before, like depending on the backups that you get. Like let's say you have 4 kind of treasure ring backups and your first one actually gets to 21 without any booms. Well, now you can use those kind of treasures as, you know, for a second one to transfer over into a Superior instead. And then that saves you a whole bunch of Meister crafting. Yeah, so those would be like in the long term, those would be like the bosses that would prioritize, is that the bosses that drop those items potentially, because those are going to dictate how quickly you'll be able to move into the higher Star Force areas, because those will determine if you have enough backups.
Okay.
So like Arc and, you know, Helix and Princess No, all of those.
Okay, I think I understand the general gist of how to progress right now.
Yeah, I guess the one extra thing, but we talked about it, right, is the try to get the critical damage in the gloves. But yeah, I would focus on that more. I mean, yeah, depending on how quickly you can get into Abzu, if you get the drop from the weapon, then the only thing you need to buy from the, or like the main thing you can buy from the Lucid Store is just immediately buy the arcane gloves and then just go for crit damage on that one, right?
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to 250, then you'll be able to add decent sharp eyes anyway, and then you'll be fine with that.
And by that time, I'm probably gonna there's probably gonna get the patch where you can put decent skills on your pets, so it won't feel any different to me.
Exactly. Yep. It'll just auto buff. Yeah, because you don't have that many buffs, right? As Zero.
You have 2 toggles, Maple Warrior, and that's it.
Yeah. You don't even have a weapon booster. Yeah. That's all. Wait,
Everything
you have a weapon
else,
booster, but it's like passive, right?
Yeah, it's the double time buffs you get from attacking as alpha or beta.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good position to be in. Okay, I'm thinking if there's... Yeah, I guess for the hat that you were talking about, that's probably to the point where you get a second hat, right? Because
Yeah, because that hat is probably really good for mobbing right now.
yeah.
And I guess if I'm lacking lines for anything, I could go for a second hat for cooldown reduce.
Mm-hmm. You look for what, like 3 or 4 seconds on that, probably.
Yeah, because what you want with your hat is to get enough cooldown reduction, so ego weapon procs in a lot more another time in Chrono Break, your biggest steroid.
Right, because the final damage makes it even bigger, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's the only source of final damage Zero gets as of now, except the story skill.
Wait, you had like 70%, didn't you? Final damage in the picture? Yeah, 73.
And 25% of that is a passive you get for finishing the storyline. Everything else is from Chrono Break.
Oh wow, that's pretty big, yeah. Huge. That's more final damage than most classes get, though.
The final damage Reboot is gonna get is definitely gonna be a big boost.
Oh yeah, you have pretty big damage and boss damage together as well. That's a lot, actually, considering that you don't have any boss from familiars, right?
None.
Wow, and your total damage is already like 600. Yeah, that's gonna be the final damage is gonna be pretty big for you then, yeah.
Well, do keep in mind I get 140% boss damage only off my weapons.
Oh right, that doubles. Yeah. That's pretty huge, yeah. Oh yeah, the set bonus plus the passive plus the potential. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also get the 5-piece bonus of Absolab from the Lucky Hat, so I get another 20%, I think. No, not 30. Sorry.
It's 30, right? Yeah. So you get 30, 30, 30, 40, 40? Is that what you get?
30, 30, 40, 40, another 30 from the set, then another 30 from the Absolab set. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, so that's like 170? Or 80? 80? Wait, you get 33 times, right? Like the base on the weapon and then the 2 sets plus 40 twice? Yeah, so that's 170% from just the... Yeah, okay. That's pretty nice.
I don't like that comment about 0 BA. Very hard to do, and it's very low.
Yeah? Is it like high intensity? Wait, what is your BA like?
Last I checked, it was 1.7 trill.
Okay.
But it's very, very hard to actually put into practice because you actually use Angelic Posturing skill 3 times. You gotta use, you gotta cancel the animation of your Twin Blades. You gotta cancel animation for Will School, for your temples, for everything.
Okay.
You end up using like 7 or 8 skills at once.
But I mean, your BA's like, it's gonna like track the BA for my Demon Avenger, and my Demon Avenger only has like a nether slice to give 30% IED, and then that's it. So, I mean, all things considered, it's not the worst.
I mean, it's definitely high on the spectrum for how much effort it takes, but I know there are classes that are even higher than that, which scares the living hell out of me.
Yeah, there's some tricky ones, yeah. So you'll just stick to 0. That seems like a good fit for you. Yeah, okay.
I've waited for this class for about 3 to 4 years, I think. And once they announced it's coming back, once they announced it's coming to Reboot, I just gave up on Adele and everything I got on her, I just transferred over to the 0.
Just left it all. But you still use the Adele for like weekly bosses and stuff?
I should, but I'm not, because I hate relogging. It's a very stupid reason, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid as far as reasons go. Probably the most stupid, but I mean, this is MapleStory. It's like relog story, disconnect story. It's all of those, right? Channel.
I'm probably gonna do it once they remove the PIC.
Right. Yeah, that is... Oh, God, I can't wait for that, man. That's actually getting into my storage, actually switching characters. Oh,
Combine that with 64-bit client.
yeah.
Wow.
I was going to say it's like a mini 64-bit client, and then hopefully the actual 64-bit client gives us some extra stability in our game. Maybe this game will actually be playable before the end of the year. Who knows?
Who knows?
We only waited 18 years. Well, actually, I guess we only waited like 16 years, but in KMS they waited 18 years for stable client. That's rough. Okay, anything else you can think of?
Not at the top of my head. I don't think so.
Okay. If anything comes to mind, you can always just hit me up in the chat, and we'll look at it. Other than that, I wish you the best of luck. And if you make the weapon, I hope you don't get the weapon drop, but then something else, okay?
The first time being nice counts for asking me not to get a drop.
Yeah. It's yeah. That's just how the universe works sometimes. Yeah. I hope you I hope you don't get the wrong drop. I guess that's the that's the key word there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, best of luck, and I'll see you around in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yep, no problem. See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, he said it was going to be around an hour. How is he so right? It was an hour and 1 minute. How does he do that? Fucking Nostradamus over here. Oh, well, I know why. Why he predicted it and why he was right on time. Because he's Zero, the child of time. Full circle, chat. Full circle. But, yeah, that was more precise on the exact things he wanted to progress on. So that was shorter, to the point, and already had a very solid account going and time going. Limited in, you know, enjoyment of playing all the time. So, you know, we give different advice as a result. And... I mean, yeah, I'm assuming that his boost notes situation... I guess we didn't double-check the boost notes, but I'm assuming he knows how boost notes work since they're this high level. I make some assumptions on my end, too. I know. We have to get through these things, right? But yeah, if you found this interesting and informational for you as a Zero, if you're wondering about the Lucky Hat, that's to get the set bonus, right? You can get the CRA set bonus to make your weapon part of the CRA set to get the 30% because you use the other 3 pieces, and then you turn your weapon into an Abzo, into a Arcane later, after you get it to 22, so that you don't risk booming and having to remake that. But you can get it to 22 first, because you can just get a backup weapon if you blow it up, and then you can turn it into an Arcane afterwards. And then once it's Arcane, it'll be part of the Arcane set. The Lucky Hat will also be set, and then you can get the other pieces, and voila, you never have to remake your hat. And it's a 30% hat, which is pretty difficult to get, so that's how all of that works together. But yeah, if you found this entertaining, no, not entertaining, probably not very entertaining, but informative, then I'm glad. And as always, if you have information for me in the form of a battle analysis, monster skill per hour, or a training video of you somewhere in either Arcane River or in New Grandis, whatever, in Cernium, Burnium, hit me up. Check the description of the stream if you want one of these sessions for you as well. Check there as well. And there's also a link there if you want to join either the EU or the NA Scardor Guild. For that, you can check information of the video. The only thing that's left is for me to thank you for watching and to see you on the next one. Bye. Bye, YouTube. Come on, chat, say bye to YouTube. Wave. Wave to the YouTube boys. What is it? People bye? Oh, there we go. Sad bye. Bye, YouTube. Pepe Point YouTube frogs. Ooh, we're going to start a feud. Oh, look at that.